seen in Nice overnight. A truck ploughed through hundreds of people who are celebrating Bastille Day. This is the picture of the truck, which travelled for more than a mile through the crowds. What you're seeing here, bullet holes in the glass, because the 31-year-old suspect, we understand of Tunisian descent, was shot after firing shots himself from the cab. This is reports we're getting, and police shot him dead after he'd ploughed through the crowds. We understand that 84 people at least have been killed, scores more are injured.
Yes, the picture that's emerging is the truck you can see there approached the street in Nice, where there were many thousands of people on the scene celebrating Bastille Day. There were fireworks going off at the time, and then careered into the crowd itself. And as Naga was saying, those confirmed deaths, 84 people we know now confirmed dead. We know there are many people injured as well.
Right, Richard Goodyear is a journalist for public German television and saw what happened. And actually, Richard, well, thank you for joining us. I understand that you've actually filmed the footage that we've been showing on the BBC. Can you tell us what exactly you saw? Of course, we saw the footage, but you obviously were seeing it with your bare eyes as well.
Yes, it was a little after 11 p.m. last night. The fireworks have just finished, and the crowds, the people were standing here down here at the street. So it's important to understand that the streets were locked. They were completely there was no traffic allowed whatsoever, and all of a sudden, with all the people, all the families celebrating here in the streets, in the middle of the streets, this truck was approaching, and it was approaching very slowly, so it didn't really rush, and it approached slowly, but yet you could ask yourself, what is a truck doing in the heart of these festivities?
And Richard, the pictures we saw was the truck approaching on that street, not through the crowds yet. It drove for more than a mile, we understand.
Exactly. So what happened was, up until this very moment here, the truck actually didn't run over anybody. Yet there was a motorcyclist trying to approach the truck, trying to open the door while driving. It looked bizarre. It looked like in the movies. And yet he failed, and he fell off the motorcycle, and he got run over. And then there were two police officers standing right here at that very corner, and they fired 2 gunshots at the driver of that truck. So up until then, or from that moment on, the rampage took place. The vehicle accelerated and ran just in a very odd way right in the middle of the crowd.
Richard, you described a moment ago the speed that you saw the truck moving at, and you described it as moving slowly. The impression we were given initially, the truck was moving quickly, which is why so many people were killed.
Yes, but this didn't take place up until the moment the first gunshots were taking place. You see, all this way, it was actually driving fairly slow, and only from this very corner on. And if you watch that footage carefully, you can see how he starts to accelerate from here on. And there, you had this massacre taking place, but up until here, it was driving really in an odd way, very slowly, and nothing, at least what I've seen, happened up until that very moment.
And Richard, just a thought for us, as you described those scenes, people presumably, as they saw the truck coming towards them, people were trying to escape, but just were unable to because there were so many people there.
Exactly. Yet nobody really has figured out what was that. Was it a drunk driver, or what was going on? So the panic really kicked in when the gunshots were shot, and it went on for approximately 15, maybe 20 seconds of gunfire from several guns. That was the moment when everybody just understood this was not just an ordinary accident. This must have been something much worse.
When we spoke to eyewitnesses previously, Richard, and maybe you can give us what your sense was, there was a suggestion the truck was veering across the road, possibly onto the pavements, and the back on the road, and targeting people. Is that what you saw?
To be honest, I can neither deny or confirm that. What I've seen is at that very corner here, down here, two police officers fired at the truck, and from that moment on, the truck accelerated and went like in a zigzag course into the people. Yet I don't know if that was intentionally or if he just wanted to get out of that situation.
Richard, thank you very much for your time this morning, and we really appreciate your eyewitness testimony for us. That's Richard Gudjar, who's a journalist for Public German Television. As you saw a moment ago, he witnessed events, and indeed the footage we've been showing this morning was the footage that he recorded.